Yeah, but speaking of Goki, in card games, new ban list update, and this ban list is something to talk about there. So
It
banned
is.
two Ishizu cards, Agito and Kelbeck now banned, and the TCG banned the correct math mech in circular, and also Isolde, two Tales of the Noble Knights now banned.
All very, very good hits.
Yes, agreed.
They all
Uh,
needed to leave.
Now, this is a rumor that I heard, but I don't think it's the truth. I heard that the reason that Isolde was banned was because Jeff Leonard figured out how to make Exodia OTK or Exodia FTK using Isolde and ignites.
Uh, no, that's just not the reason.
Okay.
Jeff Jeff Leonard didn't cause this. It was more of like every deck that ran Warriors was abusing as old. As old as one of those cards that should have been banned a long time ago because
She's
ever
helped
since
for Warriors.
ever since she was released, she's just been causing problems for whatever like warrior deck because she was played in Infernoble Knights, she was played in Goki.
I
Um,
mean, that's very true. Now, here's something that I have to ask you though. I mean, it's like, what warrior decks are making use of Isolde right now that they would ban her right now? I don't feel like we see any warrior decks present.
uh, it was used to get the Phoenix Gear freed out on the field. I don't remember if that was Rescue Ace that did that or
Um,
what.
yeah. I now that I think about it, yeah, Rescue Ace can make use of her. I didn't consider that because in my head, Rescue Ace are machines, but no, there's warriors in there.
Yeah, I'm like 90% sure it was because people were using it to get Phoenix Gear freed out on the
Nah,
field. And then circular, that's just you don't have to explain why it's
no,
banned.
no, we don't have
It
to
was
explain
just a
circular.
really good Cybers card that uh, was not like archetypal, so it
Oh
was just like
Lord.
generic. If you play Cybers, have fun,
Mhm.
and then of course Agito and Kelbeck being two like really strong cards for tier.
Yikes. But like honestly, like can we talk about how weird Konami is that they get it so right on the TCG let's ban circular, but then on Master Duel they're like diameter. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that I still don't understand that.
Neither do I.
So now we can go to the limited, or I guess you go to semi limit with Pankratops at 2. No,
Yeah,
we go from 0 to 1. No, fuck it. Semi limit Pankratops 2. Uh,
Terror Top.
kind of scary. Yeah, Terratop to 2, and then one of the purely cards to 2.
Yeah, the purely card that lets you draw a card is what it is. So
Yeah,
because that one, like all purely cards, is not once per turn. You like a very soft once per turn. So like when equipped or when attached to a purely Xyz monster as material, if you have three of them, you're drawing three cards during the standby phase. So it's insane advantage. Semi limiting it, so putting it to two instead of one. I mean, what that does is that you can't guarantee it by using my friend purely, because my friend purely is one of those like bingo machine go, hey, reveal three cards and your opponent adds one of them to your hand. So now you
yeah,
could be like, oh yeah, purely sleepy memory, and then a third one. So your opponent can choose the third one so that they don't give you the draw.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think out of the semi limits, the only one that's actually gonna do anything is probably Pankratops. I don't. mm, I mean, maybe purely does more things, but Terror top to 2 is not going to do anything. When they
Yeah.
top 3, that's when things are going to start maybe happening because Terror top at 3 is just like, I mean, we'll get Rapier back to 3.
Have we not gotten
I,
Rapier back to three?
no, Rapier's going to be at 1 for a very long time
Okay.
because that's just free Zodiacs.
Yeah, free Zodiacs indeed, and that's always a bad, bad move.
Go to
Pankratops
the
is nice because what do you call
yeah,
it? Pankratops is basically
summon it to
less good Cashier Fenrir.
free special and then pop a card
Yeah,
to destroy itself. Yeah.
yeah, pretty sweet. Yeah, it's a good card. You know, like
and
it.
he says cashier Fenrir, so it's been power crept in that way, so
Yeah.
it's not as bad. It'll probably come off to the ban list at 3 next ban list.
Okay, so I guess now we got to talk about the limited, which there is a lot, and some things are coming off the ban list, and there's some things going on it. So
I
for
was so upset and so thrilled at the same time.
oh yeah, like about what?
So our port at 1 is really nice. Redox at 1 is kind of like, why?
That's the last
Like,
Dragon Ruler. They've been releasing them like
is it?
one at a time. Yeah,
Do we have Blaster back
we have Blaster, we have Title back. Yeah, and like
and
what's his name?
Tempest?
Tempest was never gone. Tempest was always at one.
Oh,
Yeah, so
oh,
like
okay. Well, we
so
have one of each Dragon Ruler.
we have
That's
one of each.
good. Uh, I can't. So go to the
Uh,
Rescue Ace, Airlifter. Eh.
Yeah,
I,
it hits the consistency, not a lot, you know?
I saw that like Shavara was not the hit that needed to happen for Unchained, but I don't know Unchained, so I can't really speak on that.
I played Unchained a couple of weeks ago. I was playing Gamma's deck because he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be hitting the restrooms here. You can use my deck for a little bit. Let me know what you think." So I played Unchained, and Sharvara was actually a really really good card. Uh, that it
Well, the deck's really good right now, so
Yeah, that it needed to go to one. I would have argued that two was fine, but that's me. Like I didn't see like saving my bacon too frequently, but like I also was unfamiliar with the deck, so I was probably not playing optimally. Um,
the
Ib,
next three, or the next all of them
the
were
next all of
like the emotional roller coaster for me because Ib coming back to 1,
Mhm.
I don't know why. Like it was abused in Dragon Link and like a couple other. I think Orcust also used it or something, but it's a really good card.
It
I
is a really good
kind of
card,
didn't see it back, but oh well.
right?
Then Rika's Sun Avalon got hit really hard with only having one Dryas and one Sunbind
Sunbind
Solar.
Healer, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So that, like, I was told that there's a way to like circumvent this with I don't remember if it was Orcus package or some other type of like engine to put in to like get around the not having the extra Dryas and healer, but I don't know. It's rough.
it is a little rough because you went into Sun Avalon Dryas as many times as you could, so like that's basically like your first step in every combo. So that you only have one now, this seems like a very easy balancing thing to do for any deck. Like well, the same thing with like Dragon Link, Striker Dragon to one. I think the only one that like that didn't do this was Meow Meow, because it was like
They just said fuck prank kids
yeah,
and
they,
got rid
they
of
just said
Meow
fuck
Meow
frag kids, yeah.
entirely.
But yeah, usually the Link one is what you hit. You
It's like
know,
super heavy too because they just completely ban the Scarecrow.
yeah, they banned Scarecrow. So like that. Whenever a deck starts getting really, really good and just doing a whole lot, like Konami's are like, hey, what's their Link one? Yeah, either limit that one or ban it. you know,
That's the problem with Link ones though, is Konami's always makes them like too strong when they're for an archetype.
True. Like, but it's kind of difficult to not though, because it's like if your Link one doesn't do enough, then what do you even do? Like, what do you
You
do with it?
get into the Link two that does a lot.
Uh,
You just don't keep the Link one on the field and you go into Link two.
So you're saying that the way to circumvent this is to make a Link one that like is like make all Link ones just like non-effect monsters, and then
All Link ones proxy dragons, yes.
yeah, it's beautiful.
And
I love
then
it.
and then you don't have the problem of Link One's being busted.
Yeah, I guess so. Uh, it's definitely something I would
If
love to see in practice.
if it does one thing,
Hmm.
that's not bad. When you have something like Dryas that I believe prevents battle damage, if
Hmm.
you take battle damage, you get to search a card from your deck.
Mm.
Uh, and then whenever it's like special summoned or link summoned back or something, it does another thing. It like you don't need a link one that takes very little effort to make have 3 to 4 different effects on it.
Now, here's something that I just thought
Have
about.
it do one thing.
Here's something that just occurred to me is that I think you're absolutely right that if we make them non-effect, they might still be played because when you think about it, that's what Monk of the Tenyi is.
Well, you have it just depends because you have like cards that don't even seem like they'd be good
Mm.
that were played because they have like some niche interaction.
Right.
So you had something like Klar and Rushka, which said this card can't be summoned except for in your second main phase, and that was like it was a 0 attack link 2, and everyone's like, well, why would you play that? And then someone's like, well, you can get stuff off your field that you steal from your opponent,
Hmm.
and it's all like some competitive play for a bit. But
Yeah. How do you feel about Snatch Steal?
I mean, it's a time card question mark maybe.
Because what is it? Is it a time card? Because what does it do? Like, does it?
You target creature, you gain control of target creature, and it's equipped to it, and then at your opponent's standby phase, they gain 1,000 life points.
Let's see. Equip only to a monster your opponent controls. Take control of the equipped monster during each of your opponent's standby phases. They gain 1,000 life points. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
How do we
it's
make this a time card? I'm curious.
because if you don't attack with it, or if you can't do damage, and you pass your turn, your opponent gains 1,000 life points and wins.
So, like, basically, what we're saying is like, there's no point in keeping it banned if what it's doing is helping your opponent win in time.
I I don't remember why it was banned in the first place. It's one of those things that like taking your opponent's cards and then you tribute them before they can get them back or before the negative effect takes place
Yeah,
is really strong.
and
Uh, it's an old card. I
yeah,
think that came out in like, Magic Rulers
right,
or Spell Rulers,
yeah.
but I I don't know. There's something about it that I was told at one time why it was banned, and I can't for the life of me remember why.
Hmm. I guess we'll have to go watch the duel logs and see if we can find it because he always does like those videos where he tells you why each card is in the forbidden limited list. Um,
Speaking of Yule logs,
I
the
like the
next
next
three
limits.
cards are getting fucking burned.
I fucking love it. Yes. By all means,
No,
look.
no,
D-
no. See, this is bullshit, Bard, because this is
why?
another fact of a card or a deck that was causing problems got cards that aren't like in that archetype band.
What deck was
These
this?
are hits. These are runic hits.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's true.
And runic didn't get any of their fucking shit touched. It's just
Yeah, Runic.
all.
But wait, Runic got Runic
It's,
Fountain hit just recently.
well, fuck them.
Yeah, sure. But like, here's what I have to say about floodgates. I don't have a problem with floodgates. I have a problem with decks playing multiple floodgates. So like like if your opponent's deck runs skill drain and nothing else, by all means. Like if your opponent's deck runs like goes and match and nothing else, okay. But like if your opponent's deck runs goes and match, rivalry of warlords, there can only be one skill drain and summon limit. Now I have an issue, because it's like you can probably play around one of these floodgates. You can't play around all of them, you know.
Yes,
Uh,
you can. Just
how?
play the out. You just
Oh,
play the out.
god damn it! But anyway, like that being said, I feel like this is actually very fair. because you're not banning them. You can still play them, but it limits the consistency with which you can lock your opponent out of multiple things at the same time. And I think that's fine. As a matter of fact, like I think that's really okay because, for example, uh, I think I play Gozen Match in Marenses because sometimes I gotta go Kraken control, and I play Skill Drain and Eldritch because Eldritch can play around Skill Drain very easily. But like the thing is, I never play more than one. Like it's always like, yeah, Eldritch can use Skill Drain and Marensis can use Gozen Match. End of story. But like, the problem that I have with Runic is that they call it Runic Stun, but I'm like, there's nothing stun about this. This is Runic Shutout.
Well,
Like,
the problem is Konami in the past couple years
mm.
have become more and more cowardice towards stun decks. They want to go and give all of their little presents to Tommy two-tone combo player who comes in walking up with his sunglasses indoors. He wears sunglasses indoors,
What a
Bart,
douchebag.
and he's just like, I'm gonna play 35 cards out of my 40 card deck on turn one,
I don't
and you
disagree with
you
you.
can't you can't do nothing because I'm gonna stun knock you with all my negates, and then
I
the
don't
the
I don't
the
disagree
poor,
with you. I agree with you
the poor
wholeheartedly.
Mystic Mind player can't even play his
Oh,
deck
god damn
then
it, Mystic
because
Mind player.
because he goes and activates a spell card and negate with Baron LeFleur.
I
Well,
don't. Uh,
I'm gonna activate this, and I'll set a Mystic Mind. Now I'm gonna negate with Boral Savage.
I don't disagree with you. I think you're 100% right about that because it doesn't allow certain decks to play because like, hey, little Tommy combo player, sure, absolutely will just fucking decimate you with this nonsense, and then will negate you into infinity, right? And I feel like that in itself is also a problem. I feel like that there should be like a healthy middle ground to where, like, hey, you know what, like combo decks shouldn't be able to lock you out of a game, but also, stun decks should also not be able to stun you out of a game. You should have a relatively healthy amount of play in both that doesn't require you to draw the out.
And I'll fully agree with you on that
Yeah.
because, like, I had a conversation with a guy yesterday at locals, and it was basically, uh, Yu-Gi-Oh's not fun if everyone's playing the same deck, but
Yes.
you can't play like you can't go into locals with a just shit tier deck and expect to win because everyone's playing the top tier meta deck. And if you're not playing that, the game has just like been so power crept that these old decks don't stand a chance. Having said that, 2 weeks ago I went X1 with using pure paleos. There's 40 traps.
Nice. Very cool.
I lost to trap tricks because, fun fact, all the trap trick link monsters say if they're link summoned, they're unaffected by traps.
Yeah, that's true.
Can't fucking do anything
Can't
with
fucking
that.
do anything. Oh man, but hold on. Helix has something to say. He says Rudic is perfectly balanced unbanned. False. I disagree. Now that being said,
Yeah, I'll agree with that. At the same time, we'll also agree that Tyrant Neptune can come off the ban list at 3,
oh god.
and we'll see.
Sure,
We'll
give me
see.
back.
We'll have a battle of balances.
Give me back Zodiac Ratpier and Zodiac Drident unbanned, and also give me back Zodiac Barrage by all means. Let's have a battle of unbalanced. But
Tyrant Neptune FTK. The most brain dead FTK there is. You just have to open 2 cards in your hand and you win.
no, but with that being said, like I don't think that Runic in itself is bad, especially if it's pure, because what it does is it struggles to close games, right?
The You said you hit the nail right on the head though. If
Exactly.
it's pure,
If it's
it's not
pure,
bad.
yes.
No one plays pure decks.
Absolutely no one plays pure decks. And the problem with Runic is that uh, you can splash it into some of the most aggressive crap, and it still works. So like you like for example, you're not playing pure runic, you're playing runic sprite, and sprite can extend for days and put up some of the dumbest interaction. Like it is so stupid because they can constantly end in like IP Masquerena, which won't be affected by anything because Sprite Elf is pointing at her, and then Sprite Elf can special summon another level 2 from your graveyard, like with what do you call it, like Sprite Red or Sprite Carrot, which will negate either a monster effect or a
Sprite Cranberry.
yeah, like Sprite Cranberry. Oh, taste the freshness. But like so, Runic can be splashed into all of these things. Runic Fur Hire is a thing, and it's so fucking aggressive. So like the thing is, Runic doesn't have to be aggressive. Runic is a stun deck. Like it stops
Yeah.
your opponent from doing a thing. Meanwhile, you enact your game plan of like decking them out. But the thing is, you splashed it into something that's infinitely more aggressive, and now you have a deck that's the best part of both worlds with like zero drawbacks, and it's so frustrating. Yeah. Gamma says, "Pure deck Bard, you play Eldritch." I do, and my Eldritch deck
Your
is
Eldritch is not pure.
Eldritch Zombie World. Yeah.
This is not pure.
No, it's not pure. It's well, I mean, depending on how you label it, because you could just be like it's zombie tribal, and yeah, it is.
So, so a pure deck has no other outside archetypal cards. My Valence deck isn't pure because I have the Jackal King.
No, you play Jackal King in like Valence? Interesting. Okay.
It's got a couple other like non-archetypal cards. I think the only archetypal deck I have is Mech Lords. No, Amazement. Amazement is also. I'm just looking at the ones in front of me right now. Amazement also is pure, and then War Rocks is pure.
I know that I probably don't
Herald
play
is
any
pure.
pure decks, but like mine is always like it's mostly an archetype and it has a splash of something in it. Like for example, my Mikanko deck is a Kaiju Mikanko deck. Because I use Kaiju's to
It's
get
not
rid.
pure.
Yeah, it's not pure. I also like play like I play Marenses, and that one's mostly pure in the main deck, but in the extra deck I have like Kragan. So like Kragan is technically a number monster, so not pure. Uh,
That's where it gets a little bit muddy because
yeah,
like it, for me, like if you're playing non-archetypal cards in your extra deck, that's not in the main deck.
right.
It's like with Lightsworn, I play non-archetypal Lightsworn because they have what two currently they have two extra deck monsters, with it being
Michael and
the
Minerva.
Michael and Minerva.
Yeah, because Curious is banned.
I wish you didn't remind me of that.
Did I ever tell you, like, one time me and Helix are at locals, right? And we're looking through cards in their bulk. And, like, I'm looking through their link bulk. And I go, like, wow, that's Curious. And Helix is like, what happened? And then I just show him Curious the light sword. I was like, he's like, I hate you.
I would only hope that he would like turn and just punch half of your teeth down your throat for that.
Yeah, he was like, fuck you. I was like, oh, that was beautiful. Oh man, I loved it. But anyway, so floodgates to one, I don't think is unfair. People will disagree with me, and that's
It's just the deck that it was supposed to hit. I wish they would have did something more targeted towards that, because this is
right.
like another Mystic Mind ban where it's just like because other decks are playing it, it's getting banned.
Right.
Unlimits.
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 Infernity Archfiend.
Infernity's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
If it does, then it's good for that one dude who's willing to spend 40 minutes out of the 45 to set 5 pass.
Good for that one guy playing Infernity still in the year of our Lord 2023, soon to be 2024.
Yeah.
Kashtira Unicorn, unlimited. I mean,
okay.
With Kashtira, a Rise Heart band, fine. Like The big scary thing is out of the way. We should be okay
The
here.
problem with Unicorn is it Unicorn or is it Fenrir that people play a lot?
It's
I think
Fenrir.
it's Fenrir.
It's
I
Fenrir.
was gonna say with Fenrir. Well, I don't even know what Unicorn does. So yeah,
Unicorn Search is a
have
spell.
have it at 5 for all I care at this point.
Yeah. Unicorn is usually their play starter because you'll go Unicorn, Search, Castira Theosis, and then go from there. Let's see.
Mind control
Mind
to
Control.
3.
And yeah, I'm seeing a
Uh,
pattern here. Like this is when you really think about it, this is a lot of non-targeting removal that's being it is targeting removal, but it's a different kind of removal that's being used here because we're getting Snatch Steal, we're getting Mind Control. You take something
we
from your
got
opponent.
change of heart back.
We got Change of Heart, so like you take something from your opponent, you link it away, or like you use it for a synchro summon, whatever. The thing about these cards is that they're very easily negated, and or they're very easily missed because like you target something with Mind Control, your opponent does something like IP Masquerena, and then it just removes it from the field anyway. Okay, you didn't get to do the thing you wanted to do. So
So you do it again because you got 2 more copies in your hand.
yeah, so you just do it again. Yeah, but
I don't know. The steal your opponent shit cards, they're okay coming back.
they're okay
They're
coming back in
not
Yu-Gi-Oh.
well. They're not being like main decked. If
No, they're
anything,
not.
I've only seen people put them in the side deck, so I don't see them like currently being
God.
an issue. I think it would be hilarious if Snatch Steal comes back to 3, and some person goes to a regional with just every card that says take an opponent's monster.
It's
You got
exactly
3
what I was
Crackdown,
thinking.
3
Yeah.
Snatch Steal, 3 Mind Control, your Change of Hearts, and it's like these are our monsters now, comrade.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was thinking. It's like watch this dude's like extra deck or his side deck is just like 3 Crackdown, 3 Snatch Steal, 3 Mind Control, and like 3 Change of Heart. It's just like, oh god. And like what else is like 3 Triple Tactics Talent because that does the
But
same
it's
thing.
did I tell you about my paleo deck?
Nope.
Uh, I played 3 Crackdown in it because when I originally made it, there was a person at locals that played Cyber Dragons, and there's a person at locals that played Utopia.
Mm.
And it was at that time that like the Utopia go into Utopia double, go into Utopia the lightning attack for like 40,000 life points and a new car. That was like the brand new thing. So it's just like I'm gonna play Crackdown, take your Utopia, and then just go into Utopia the Lightning myself. So
Damn it.
I had Cyber Dragon Infinity and then Utopia the Lightning in my extra deck, just so I could like steal someone else's and then be like, it's mine now.
Yeah, and this is the thing that people were doing with like what was it with Cash Tira Shangra era that like hey during your standby phase it's gonna activate, it's gonna special summon a Cash Tira monster, just use Triple Tactics Talent, take control of it, and then just special summon your own Arise Heart on top of it. Because you can special summon a Rise Heart on top of a Cash Tira Xyz monster that has activated its effect that turn. So that's what people were doing. They were running Triple Tactics Talent to take control of like the Kashtira Shangra era, and then summon their Arise Heart on top of it. It's blah. But
Those cards are always fun,
yeah,
and like those, like it's like what Garuda, the fusion that says fuck your opponent's field and draw a card.
yeah,
Just any like super poly target, any one material overlay. If you steal your opponent's stuff, those are just fun cards to play
true.
because it's like if that card is in the meta, you just take one slot out of your extra deck and then you have a way to deal with it.
Right. So speaking of card draw, Pot of
Pot of
Desires
Desires,
back to 3.
Pot of Desirees.
Yeah, it's not a
I,
bad
I
card.
can put it just a third copy back into Gren Machu, and that's about the only deck that I'm willing to play that card in anymore.
I have spoken ad infinitum over how I love Pot of Desires, but I hate Pot of Desires because it has a 50-50 chance of just like fucking me over. And it's
Well,
happened in
it's
the past where it's like, hey, did you want a starter? Well, that's too bad. They're all banished now. And I'm like, I hate you. Why?
But
Oh Lord.
I play it in. I think I play in Endymion and in my Grand Maju Gizmek deck.
Mm-hmm.
And every time that I play Grand Maju, it's never seems to fail that Pot of Desires, draw 2 cards, and I look at those 10 cards that I banished, and all 3 of my Grand Majus are in it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is a shitty card. I hate it.
Yeah, this is awful. This is the worst. But speaking of non-shitty cards, Spellbook of
Spellbook
Judgment
of Judgment.
and
Yeah.
Sprite Starter and Upstart Goblin, all really, really good cards, and now
Two
fully
of
at three.
those, two of those I can see coming back into the meta.
Mm,
The one, I don't think anyone's done anything with Spellbook of Judgment.
mm.
It's had its time in the spotlight. I don't think it's going to come back in any capacity because I think Spellbook has just been like power creep so far now.
Yeah, now, like
But
everyone has
Sprite's
been.
Sprite's still good.
Sprite's still
I could
very good. Yes.
so having Sprite starter back at 3,
Yeah.
maybe good.
The only thing that's
Upstart having a 37 card deck, pretty good.
pretty great, pretty cracked. I was gonna say the only thing that Sprite has going against it right now is that Elf is still banned, and Elf is the good one. So like that's the only thing. But people still win with using Sprite because they can still do a bunch of other stupid stuff. And
Well,
especially
having
now
Elf
that they
banned.
have SP Little Knight, which is a Link 2 in the deck that loves the number 2. Oh my god.
Well, having Elf banned is, it just takes Sprite from being like the main component of the deck to being more like an engine,
Right.
because like you said, it's Sprite Runic, Sprite this, Sprite that.
Yeah. Sprite for
And,
hire. Uh,
and so maybe they'll get Elf back eventually when we get Meow back to 3.
well, neither of those sound like things that would be likely. I'm sure that we'll
That's
get.
that's the point, bud.
But so overall, what's your opinion on this ban list?
I they hit a bunch of things that need to be hit. Isolde need to be hit a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
The Shizu cards should have just been banned on site.
Mm.
Circular, good hit. The limited, it hurts, but there's some like good stuff in there. Unlimited, could care less about. Semi limit, yay Pankratops? Question mark.
Yeah, I would agree. Ishizu cards bad? Honestly, we should pretend they never existed. We should give them the Air Neos treatment. Uh, like circular,
Fucking for real.
yeah, right? Circular, fine. It's sold. I wasn't using it, so I mean, it doesn't bother me. I'm happy to see that Orcus people can finally stop complaining about Harp Horror, because that was like the one thing all Orcus players had in common. It's like, give us back Harp Horror. Well, here you go.
Well, actually,
Oh Lord.
so uh Isolde was like one of the key components to like the good variant of Orcus because it
Oh,
was
no
Dark Warrior.
kidding.
Because you would get your Dark Greffer or your Armageddon Knight off of Isolde.
Oh, damn it.
So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It's still like a functional engine that you could probably find something to work with. I actually have in front of me all of the Orcus stuff that I have,
Yeah.
and dangers. I'm gonna try to make Danger Orcus.
So let's see. Pankratops, I like. No big solid card. I love it. Terratop, never saw it ever. So whatever. Purely smart hit, limiting the one that is the draw. Kashtira Unicorn, fine. Like a Rise Heart is gone. I don't care. And the rest of it just, I mean, like it's fine. I don't have any complaints about it one way or another. I do hate that I had just finished building Sun Avalon, like what do you call it, Rika Sun Avalon, and now I'm just gonna have to figure out a way to play around these bands. But